Part 20. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 191. Seemingly seeing Shen Baiyun's entanglement, Lin Su smiled. Sister Shen, knowing each other means we are destined. It's thanks to you that I can get the soul-nurturing wood. It's just such a piece of ecstasy incense. Don't refuse it. Take it. Bar. This. Shen Baiyun was still a little hesitant. Sister Shen, if we can't find the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle, we will have to reach the world of immortality through the desolate space. Then we will have to rely on Sister Shen for help. This should be regarded as the reward for asking Sister for help. Lin Su strike while the iron is hot. Yes, Sister Shen, my husband has this kind intention, so don't refuse. Ye Ping'er also advised from the side. Okay then. Thank you. Shen Baiyun finally nodded and collected the ecstasy incense and the solution to ecstasy pill. Because he was afraid that Yewuji and Emperor Yama would find out something was wrong, Lin Su did not dare to stay in the spirit field space for too long. After coaxing Ye Ping'er and the two girls a few words, he withdrew from the spirit field space. Ah! Seeing Lin Su open his eyes, the dragon tiger beast roared excitedly. Lin Su smiled and stroked the dragon tiger beast's neck as a reward. After lifting the isolation circle, Lin Su walked out of the room. Su'er, has the ecstasy incense been refined? As soon as Lin Suda went out, the figures of Yewuji and Yamaluo Tianzi flashed in front of him, and Yewuji couldn't wait to ask. Lin Su smiled slightly, took out 2 sticks of ecstasy incense and several ecstasy pills and handed them over. Is this the incense of ecstasy? Yewuji and Emperor Yama each held a stick of ecstasy incense, their eyes flashed with unconcealable joy. At their level, there were not many things that could change their looks, and this ecstasy incense happened to be one of them. 1. Well, it is recorded in the pill prescription that the ecstasy incense can put the beings under the immortals into a state of drowsiness. Unless they take this ecstasy pill in advance, they will be immune. I have refined 4 in total this time, and these 2 are enough. You should be filial to the palace master and father-in-law. Lin Su reduced the remaining 6 sticks of ecstasy to 4, so that he could keep 2 more sticks. Not bad, Su'er, your filial piety is commendable. Yewuji stroked his beard and was very satisfied with his son-in-law. Although Emperor Yama did not speak, he looked at Lin Su with an approving smile and nodded. The matter between the drunken fairy rose and the enchanting incense came to an end, and several people started on the road again. The leader was still the dragon tiger beast. Although this guy led the 3 of them to the drunken fairy rose and almost caused the 3 of them to fall into the sea of clouds and lose their lives, but as a result, he obtained the drunken immortal rose and refined it into the ecstasy incense. Overall, he was a pretty good guide. However, to be on the safe side, both Emperor Yama and Yewuji took out flying boats for transportation. Of course, they were not as huge as warships, but they were only 3 feet wide and more than 1 foot long. They could only hold 2 or 3 people, but they did not cost any real energy. As long as there are spiritual stones, it can be driven. This is similar to a warship. In this way, even if it encounters an unexpected situation like before, it will not fall into the clouds and lose its life. As for Lin Su, he was still riding on the back of the dragon and tiger beast. The big cat's broad back was soft and comfortable. Riding on it was much more comfortable than sitting in a flying boat. Moreover, the dragon tiger beast is also willing to carry Lin Su on his back. As long as he can be close to Lin Su, his divine beast bloodline will continue to revive. If he stays for a while, more bloodline will revive. Another half-month has passed. Land appears ahead. Originally, Lin Su was thinking of finding a few more drunken fairy roses or other treasures, but the past few days were as peaceful as the first few days, and he encountered nothing. Just when the 3 of them were getting impatient, a vast land appeared at the end of the sea of clouds in the distance, and Lin Su and the other two couldn't help but feel refreshed. Finally, land appears. There are seas of clouds coming and going. I'm tired of looking at them. Lin Su has been flying in the sea of clouds these days. He didn't say anything, but he was already tired of it. With Emperor Yama and Yewuji beside him, he couldn't enter the spirit field space, so he was already depressed. The moment I set foot on land, I couldn't help but look up to the sky and let out a long and cheerful roar. Ho! Feeling the joy in Lin Su's roar, the dragon and tiger beast followed suit, raising their heads and letting out a deafening roar. The expressions of Yewuji and Emperor Yama changed slightly, and they secretly thought that it was not good. There were dangers in the spiritual world today. They had just set foot on land and were not familiar with the surrounding environment at all. If any powerful enemies were attacked by Lin Su and Long Hu, if the beast's roar attracts them, it will be troublesome. There is a saying that what you are afraid of will come to you, the good will not work but the bad will. As soon as this thought flashed through the minds of Yewuji and Emperor Yama, an earth-shaking roar rang out from a distance, followed by a terrifying breath. They galloped towards Lin Su and the others at an astonishing speed, and were already close in the blink of an eye. Those who trespass into the heavenly spirit world will die. This is a monster whose upper body is a human body and its lower body is a snake body. It is filled with a strong murderous aura. Its cultivation level is actually higher than that of the Emperor of Yama. Although it has not yet reached the stage of divine transformation, it is more perfect than the late nascent soul stage. The aura is much stronger. Judging from the aura, Guang has reached the realm of half-step transformation into a god. This monster held a blood-red spear in its hand. As soon as it came in front of Lin Su and the others, it roared and rushed towards Lin Su with murderous intent, and stabbed Lin Su fiercely with the spear in its hand. Did you make a mistake? You came to me as soon as you came here and thought I was easy to bully. Among the three, Lin Su had the lowest cultivation level and the weakest aura. This monster seemed to know the principle of looking for weak people, and directly targeted Lin Su. Lin Su secretly cried out that he was unlucky, and was a little angry at the same time, but he did not dare to take a direct hit, and directly activated transformation to avoid the spear. After all, the cultivation level between him and the monster was too different. With the power of the tyrant Bear King, it is impossible to be the opponent of the monster. Ho! As soon as Lin Su dodged, the bloody spear pierced towards the dragon and tiger beast, which immediately angered the dragon and tiger beast. After roaring wildly, he raised his left paw and grabbed the bloody spear. Boom! With a roar, the monster's blood-colored spear shattered into pieces, and was unexpectedly sent flying backwards by the dragon-tiger beast's claw. What's going on? Lin Su was in a daze. Yewuji and Emperor Yama also looked at each other, and the dragon and tiger beast raised its left paw blankly, with a look of confusion on its face. The half-stepped monster was smashed into pieces by the dragon-tiger beast in the middle stage of nascent soul. Not only was its weapon smashed with a claw, but it was also knocked away. This was too puzzling. Although the dragon-tiger beast has the blood of a divine beast, it is stronger than ordinary monsters, and its strength is not weaker than that of monks in the late nascent soul stage, but it is not capable of slapping away a monster that is half a step into a god, right? This is too ridiculous. Big Cat, come on, beat it hard. After being stunned for a moment, Lin Su gave the order to the dragon and tiger beast. Regarding Lin Su's order, the dragon-tiger beast resolutely carried out the order without hesitation, and the blow just now also increased its confidence a lot. After a roar, it chased after the monster with its body like lightning, and then grabbed the monster with one claw. Going up, at the same time, the whole body crackled with flames and electric light. Bold, you dare to take action against me. The monster who stabilized his body was furious. When he saw the dragon and tiger beast chasing him, he let out an angry roar. In a flash of light, a blood-red spear appeared in his hand and thrust towards the dragon and tiger beast. Boom! A jaw-dropping scene appeared again. The monster's blood-colored spear was shattered inch by inch, and its figure was once again knocked upside down. Even because the dragon tiger beast's attack this time contained flames and lightning, the monster's whole body was electrocuted at this moment. Somewhat burnt. Is this monster really a half-step god? Lin Su rolled his eyes and couldn't help but mutter. The aura has indeed reached the stage of half-step to becoming a god, but the strength is only at the level of the mid-stage nascent soul. It is indeed a bit strange. Yewuji was also puzzled. Take it and you'll find out. Emperor Yama uttered a word, and his whole body disappeared. The next moment, blood splattered all over the monster's body, and more than a dozen wounds suddenly appeared. At the same time, the figure of Emperor Yama appeared behind the monster. The monster's figure, which had been knocked upside down by the dragon and tiger beast, changed its direction and faced Lin Su, and Yewuji flew over and fell heavily to the ground, letting out painful wails. You hateful outsiders, how dare you harm the servants of Lord Snake God? Lord Snake God will definitely crush your bodies, deprive you of your souls, and prevent you from ever being reincarnated. There were deep wounds all over the monster's body, and its two arms were hanging with only a thin layer of skin. Seeing that they were useless, the guy was wailing and staring at Lin Su with resentful eyes. The three of them, especially the Emperor Yama, cursed fiercely. Lord Snake God. Servant. What the hell? Lin Su was even more confused, and Yewuji was also confused. Only Emperor Yama, who beat the monster into such a miserable state, seemed to understand something and said, I thought this guy was really half-step into becoming a god. It turns out that it's just an appearance. Seeing that Lin Su and Yewuji still didn't understand, Emperor Yama explained, this guy's cultivation is borrowed. Borrowed cultivation. Lin Su and Yewuji looked at the monster paralyzed on the ground in surprise. Sure enough, this guy's aura was rapidly declining, and he soon reached the middle stage of nascent soul, which was worse than the dragon tiger beast. No wonder he is such a loser. It turns out his cultivation is borrowed. Lin Su suddenly realized that this was the same as when he borrowed the power of the tyrant Bear King. The difference was that what he borrowed was power that could be controlled and exerted by him, while what this monster borrowed was cultivation and no strength. To control this borrowed cultivation, that's why he was beaten so badly by Dragon Tiger Beast and Yama Emperor. What kind of monster are you? Who is the Lord Snake God in your mouth? Also, where did you borrow your cultivation just now? The monster had lost the ability to fight, but to be on the safe side, Lin Su took out the 5 elements spirit sword and put it against the monster's neck, and asked. This monster keeps claiming that Hu Lingsu and the others are outsiders. It seems that it should be the aboriginal people here. It just so happens that Lin Su is not familiar with the Tianling world, so he just wants to learn about it from this guy. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 192. The words of the great prophet Kulia made the expressions of Lin Su and the others suddenly change. Along the way, the snake people seemed to have seen a human race like Lin Su and the others for the first time. Only Kulia said this. After revealing their origins, this snake woman is not simple. We are indeed from the human world. How did the prophet know that? Yewuji and Emperor Yama did not speak out of shame, but kept winking at Lin Su, and Lin Su could only sigh and ask. If you can't even count this, what else can you call a prophet? Kulia pursed her lips and smiled, with a different style of her own. She said without surprising, not only do I know that the three of them are from the human world, but I also know that you are here for the passage to the spiritual world. As soon as he said this, the expressions of Lin Su and the others couldn't help but change. Yewuji and Emperor Yama were shocked by each other's foresight. Since they knew the origins and purposes of the three of them, they would most likely know the location of the spiritual world passage, so there was a joy that could not be concealed in their eyes. Lin Su's mood was much more complicated. On the one hand, he was also surprised by Ku Lia's ability to predict, and he had some expectations that the other party might know the location of the spiritual world passage. After all, although he is not going to the spiritual world now, he will one day go to the spiritual world. Go, if you know it in advance, you can be familiar with it when the next time the heavenly spirit world comes to the human world. But on the other hand, Lin Su was a little more wary of Ku Lia. Her precognitive ability was too weird. Could it be that he also knew about the spiritual field space he was carrying? Ku Lia is not old, never more than 100 years old. Yewuji and Emperor Yama are both old monsters who have lived for nearly 1,000 years. It would be a loss of face for them to call each other the prophet, but why not call them like this? Call someone a girl? Girl? That's so rude. Therefore, the task of asking still fell on Lin Su. The two bosses not only signaled with their eyes, but even directly sent messages to ask Lin Su to quickly inquire about the location of the spiritual world passage. Since Lord Prophet knows our purpose, he must be very confident. I wonder if you can inform us. Ku Lia looked at Lin Su with an undiminished smile, saying nothing, neither rejecting nor agreeing. Lin Su felt a little frightened when she saw it, and then she spoke leisurely, I do have a channel to the spirit world, there are some clues, but what? After all, Yewuji and Emperor Yama couldn't help but speak. However, the spirit world channel is currently in an unstable state. If you enter it with your current strength, you may be torn apart by the space storm before you reach the spirit world. Ku Lia still had a faint smile on her face, but no one doubted the authenticity of her words. It is common sense that there is a pulling force in the space channel. If the space channel is unstable as Ku Lia said, then entering it is indeed a matter of death and no life. Unless one can reach the cultivation level of the fusion stage, one can resist the pull of the space. However, if one does not go to the spirit world, let alone the fusion stage, he cannot even break through the transformation stage. This prophet, where is the channel to the spiritual world? It was obvious that Ku Lia did know the location of the passage to the spirit world, and Emperor Yama and Yewuji were no longer reserved. Being able to go to the spirit world was a big deal, and they had to lose face and so on. Just under the sea of clouds, Ku Lia didn't show off anymore, she opened her mouth and spat out 6 words. What? How is this possible? Yewuji and Emperor Yama were shocked. The space passage leading to the spiritual world was actually under the sea of clouds. This was beyond their expectations. Isn't it true that once the sea of clouds falls, it can never fly again? Master Prophet, how do you know that the passage to the spiritual world is under the sea of clouds? There was a trace of suspicion on Yewuji's face. Ku Lia's news was really surprising. Could this woman be trying to trick the others into a trap? There is a barrier under the sea of clouds, and you cannot fly within the barrier, so as long as you fall into the sea of clouds, no matter how strong you are, you will only fall. Great Prophet Ku Lia's expression became serious. Actually, the Tianling world is divided into 2 continents. One is the Tianling continent we are in now, and the other is under the sea of clouds, which we call the land of death. The place of death, Lin Su had a vague premonition. Yes, the land of death. Because of the barrier, once you fall into the sea of clouds, you will fall to death. But this is not the real origin of the name of the land of death. Unlike Tianling continent, the space in the land of death is extremely unstable, energy attacks from various elements often appear without warning, or a gap suddenly opens in the space. Once you are hit by these energies or sucked into the space gap, you will definitely die. Isn't that very similar to the sea of clouds that was the same as when you first entered the Tianling realm? Lin Su secretly thought to himself, just like this, it doesn't seem to be called a place of death, right? Seemingly seeing what Lin Su was thinking, the great prophet Ku Lia smiled and said, that's right, this alone can't be called a place of death. The place of death is not only a harsh environment, there are also people living in it. There are countless cruel monsters. These monsters are extremely ferocious and take pleasure in killing. The lowest level monsters among them are not much worse than Kull, and they often appear in groups. I know that the three of them are very powerful people. If you are surrounded by monsters, it may be difficult to save your life. Rightward arrow. Hi. Lin Su and the others couldn't help but take a few breaths of cold air. They were shocked by Kulia's words. The weakest monster was about the same as Kull. What was the strength level of the strongest monster? Transformation period? Or the integration period? Kulia seemed to feel that the shock she gave to Lin Su and the other two was not enough. After a pause, she continued, also, the land of death is different from the Tianling continent. There is no spiritual energy of heaven and earth, but it is filled with rich demonic energy. This demonic energy is a great tonic for those monsters, but it is no different from poison gas for us. Once inhaled, we will fall into madness. At that time, under the attack of monsters and the influence of the harsh environment, the consequences will be. Kulia did not continue, but Lin Su and the other two already understood it very well. They only felt cold sweat on their backs. The lack of spiritual energy of heaven and earth means that the consumption can only be supplemented by elixirs. Coupled with powerful monsters and energy attacks and space cracks that appear from time to time, the degree of danger is self-evident. No wonder it is called the land of death. My Lord Prophet, is the passage to the spirit world really in the land of death? If so, how do we get there? We can't just jump down from the sea of clouds, can we? Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji both frowned, but there was not much fear on their faces. Lin Su knew very well that no matter how dangerous the land of death was, they would definitely have to try it. If they didn't enter the spirit world, their cultivation would not be improved, and sooner or later they would die of exhaustion. Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji could no longer wait for the next spiritual world to come. This was their only chance, and they had to fight no matter how dangerous it was. It seems that you three are determined to go. Kulia looked at Lin Su and the other two deeply, sighed and said, okay, I'll tell you. The Tianling continent and the land of death are actually connected. There is a pillar of heaven. The interior of the pillar of heaven is hollow. There are spiral stairs from the Tianling continent to the land of death. The entrance of this pillar of heaven, Kuria paused and said slowly, it's under the altar. Are you serious? Yewuji's eyes glared, and he stood up with a whoosh. The momentum of the late Yuanying great perfection burst out, pressing Lin Su to breathe hard, and the face of the great prophet Kuria was a little pale. Father-in-law. Using the dragon Yuan to withstand this huge pressure, Lin Su hurriedly grabbed the corner of Yewuji's clothes and shouted softly. Yewuji realized his loss of composure and smiled awkwardly and put away his momentum. Sorry, I was too excited and couldn't control myself for a moment. Please forgive me if I offended you. No problem. After a few breaths, Kulia's face returned to normal. She didn't blame Yewuji, but clapped her hands and praised, the strength of the guests is really strong. No wonder Kull had no power to resist you. Maybe you can really repair the barrier and save the Tianling continent from a disaster. Repair the barrier? What's the connection? Aren't we talking about the passage to the spirit world? Why did we jump to repairing the barrier all of a sudden? Lin Su and the other two were confused and looked at Kulia with doubts, waiting for her explanation. That's right, didn't I just say that the space passage to the spirit world is unstable and entering it is a sure death? That's because the power of the barrier covering the entire land of death is weakening, so the passage to the spirit world will be affected. Prophet, what do you mean? If we want to reach the spirit world safely through the space passage, we must first repair the barrier and restore it to normal. Lin Su seemed to understand what Kulia meant. That's right. As long as the barrier is repaired and restored to normal, the passage to the spirit world will no longer be affected, and the three of you can safely pass through the passage to the spirit world. Kulia's eyes flashed with eagerness. You three just heard me say that there are countless powerful and ferocious monsters in the land of death. It is precisely because of the restrictions of the barrier that they can't rush to the Sea of Clouds. If the barrier continues to weaken or even disappears, those monsters will invade the Tianling continent. At that time, it will be a scene of the collapse of all races and bloody storms. And as the barrier disappears, the passage to the spirit world will also be closed. I understand. What the prophet means is that whether it is for the safety of the entire Tianling continent or for us to be able to go to the spirit world safely, we must repair the barrier, right? That's right. Lin Su and the other two looked at each other, all with bitter smiles on their faces. Kulia has made it clear that no matter how difficult it is to repair the barrier, they can only bite the bullet. Lin Su and the other two had thought that Kulia was deceiving them in order to get their help in repairing the barrier, but even so, they had no choice but to believe Kulia. After all, he held the correct location of the passage to the spiritual world. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 193. Master Prophet, how should we repair the barrier? Now that he knew that repairing the barrier was unavoidable, Lin Su stopped going around the bush. It seemed that Emperor Yama and Yewuji had the same idea, so when Lin Su asked, neither of them made any objection. Okay, I really saw the right person. These three are really the saviors of my Tianling continent. Great Prophet Kulia was overjoyed and stood up for the first time to greet Lin Su and the others, saying, no matter what the outcome is, Kulia would like to thank the three of them on behalf of the snake tribe and on behalf of all the creatures in the Tianling continent. But I believe that the three of them will definitely succeed. I have a hunch. The great prophets all had a premonition that they would succeed, and Lin Su and the other three had nothing to say. Even if Kulia was bewitching them, they were still willing to be bewitched. After all, only by repairing the barrier can the space channel to the spiritual world be opened. After restoring stability, not only Emperor Yama and Yewuji can go to the spiritual world, but Lin Su will also go to the spiritual world through the passage in the future. Master Prophet, time is precious. You should tell me how to repair the barrier. The Tianling realm only stays in the human world for 1 year, and will leave the human world after 1 year. It has been more than a month since Lin Su and the others entered the Tianling realm. Repairing the Tianzu will definitely not happen overnight, and time is very tight. If you want to repair the barrier, you must first find the 5 elemental spirits that support the barrier. The spirit of the 5 elements. What is that? Lin Su and the others were stunned. By the way, I forgot that the cultivation system of the 3 distinguished guests is different from that of our heavenly spirit world. In your words, they should be the spirits of the 5 elements, Kulia said with a smile. The spirit of the 5 elements. Is it the 5 spirit beads of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth? Lin Su's eyes suddenly lit up. When he was practicing Xianxia 5 elements thunder technique, he had seen an introduction about the 5 spiritual pearls. Every world is composed of the most basic yin and yang and the 5 elements. The 5 spiritual pearls are the spirits of the 5 elements. Of curing. Could it be that Kulia wanted to find the 5 spiritual pearls to strengthen the barrier? Mr. Lin knows about the 5 elements spirit. That's great. A look of surprise bloomed on Kuria's face. Well, I just heard about it. Lin Su scratched his head and said, Master Prophet, you should just tell us where to find the 5 spirit pearls. 3 days later, in front of a lonely peak in the middle of Tianling continent. Is this the 5 element sacred mountain mentioned by the great prophet Kulia? According to the great prophet Kulia, the 5 element spirits, that is, the 5-element beads, are located on the 5-element sacred mountain in the middle of Tianling continent. It is necessary to obtain the 5-element beads to repair the barrier and make it completely stable. Each world has its own origin of the 5 elements. The origin of the 5 elements in the heavenly spirit world is the 5 spirit pearls on the 5 elements sacred mountain. Lin Su asked Kulia, since she knew that the 5 spirit pearls were on the 5 elements mountain, why didn't she let the masters of the snake tribe come to get them instead of relying on their hands? Later, Kulia explained with a wry smile, and Lin and Su finally understood that it was not that she didn't want to take it, but that she simply couldn't do it. This 5-element sacred mountain has a strong suppressive effect on the aborigines of the Tianling realm. Although there are many masters among the snake people, even if they are not as good as Yewuji and Yama, they are not much different. But once they enter the 5-element sacred mountain, the whole body's strength will be suppressed to less than 10% of its original strength, and it will basically become a soft-footed shrimp. Since the 5 elements sacred mountain is called a sacred mountain, it is not an ordinary place. Various restrictions and barriers are filled on the mountain road. The aborigines in the Tianling realm do not understand this aspect, and their strength is suppressed. There is no way to crack it. Not only that, the 5 elements sacred mountain has the same air restrictions as the land of death. Once you enter the mountain, you can no longer fly and can only climb up step by step. Masters in the heavenly spirit world have also tried to climb from mid-air. He flew up to the sacred mountain, but once he got within 10 feet of the mountain, he immediately fell from the air, breaking his bones and tendons, or even dying directly. Moreover, the 5 elements sacred mountain is dotted with various powerful elemental spirits. The aborigines entering the sacred mountain with their strength suppressed are no match for these powerful spirits, so they know that they can obtain 5 elements in the 5 elements sacred mountain. The spirit beads repaired the barrier, but they didn't have the strength, so they could only stare. It was precisely because of this that Kulia was so ecstatic when Lin Su and the others agreed to help repair the barrier. Boom! A sword blasted a fire spirit into embers all over the sky. Lin Su frowned. It was less than half a day since they stepped into the 5 elements mountain. They had already encountered dozens of waves of 5-element demon spirits. Their strength was not too strong. But there are so many of them, and they keep coming one after another, which is very annoying. The female prophet from the snake tribe said that the 5 spiritual pearls are all halfway up the mountain. Based on this, I'm afraid we will have to fight all the way up. Yewuji sighed, while Emperor Yama said indifferently, there are just a lot of these spirits. Kill them as soon as you go. It just takes a little more effort. Lin Su rolled his eyes speechlessly. These 2 big guys really stood up and talked without hurting their backs. They had been dealing with demon spirits by themselves all the way. They had never made a move at all. They called it this level. The demon spirits are simply not worth their efforts. Alas, who allowed himself to be a junior? The only life left is to be a coolie. Lin Su sighed while looking at the dragon and tiger beast beside him. The dragon and tiger beast had helped him a lot along the way, otherwise he would have been exhausted just killing the demon spirits. He reached out and patted the dragon tiger beast's neck to express his gratitude. The dragon tiger beast roared excitedly, and continued to walk up the mountain path with Lin Su, while Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi followed behind him leisurely and thought about the mountain. Along the way, there were constant demons rushing out to attack Lin Su and the other 2. These demons were of average strength and could not pose any threat to Lin Su and the other 2. In order to please Lin Su, the dragon tiger beast took the initiative to take on most of the demons, which made Lin Su feel much more relaxed. However, because they had to deal with demons, the speed of travel was naturally much slower. After half a month, Lin Su and the other 2 reached the halfway point of the 5 elements divine mountain. Such a strong fire spirit power. As soon as he crossed the halfway point of the mountain, Lin Su felt an extremely strong fire spirit power, and the proportion of fire spirit energy in the surrounding heaven and earth spirit energy increased sharply. Fire spirit pearl. The fire spirit pearl must be nearby. The treasure that can cause changes in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth must be extremely rare. Lin Su really can't think of any other treasures on the Five Elements Mountain except the Five Spirit Pearl. Suer, be steady, don't be so impatient. Yewuji coughed lightly. In fact, he was as excited as Lin Su. According to the great prophet Kulia, as long as he got the Five Spirit Pearl, he could repair the barrier. Although Kulia said that the Five Elements Mountain was full of dangers, it seemed a bit exaggerated now. Think about it, the natives of the Tianling realm will be suppressed in the Five Elements Mountain, and their strength will only be 10%. Naturally, they will not be the opponents of those demons who don't know what death and fear are. But they are not natives, and their strength will not be affected, so they naturally don't find it difficult. Following the direction where the fire spirit power came from, after turning a few corners, Lin Su and the other two came to the edge of a lake. A hot fire spread out from the lake. This turned out to be a lava lake. It was not the first time that Lin Su had seen a lava lake, but it was either in the crater or deep underground. It was the first time that Lin Su had seen a lava lake like this one halfway up the mountain. From the side, the lava lake was a platform extending from the mountain, with a radius of 100 feet. A fist-sized fiery red bead was suspended above the lava lake. Endless fire spirit power continued to diffuse from the bead and merge into the lava lake. It was obvious that the reason for the appearance of such a lava lake halfway up the mountain was because of this bead. Fire spirit bead. This was the fire spirit bead among the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth that Lin Su and the other two were looking for. With a strong push of his feet, Lin Su jumped towards the fire spirit bead, grabbed it in his hand, and then touched the surface of the lava lake with his toes, using the force to jump back. It's so easy to get it. I thought there must be a powerful demon guarding near the fire spirit pearl. Lin Su was ready for battle when he jumped out, but he didn't expect it to be calm. He easily got the fire spirit pearl without any movement. Strangely enough, after the fire spirit pearl, which had been emitting endless fire spirit power, was held in Lin Su's hand, the fire spirit power immediately became restrained. He only felt a warm feeling in his hand, and didn't feel hot at all. At the same time, there was a faint trace of pure fire energy from the fire spirit pearl that penetrated into Lin Su's body. Oh no, magma lake. Lin Su was marveling at the magic of the fire spirit pearl. Suddenly, the magma lake in front of him underwent a huge change. Countless magmas gathered from the lava lake to the middle, forming a huge lava giant, burning with raging flames. Well, just when it was said that the fire spirit pearl came easily, trouble came immediately. Judging from the breath, this lava giant was not weaker than a cultivator in the early stage of the nascent soul. Lin Su curled his lips in silence, and with a thought, he put the fire spirit orb into the spiritual field space and temporarily stored it in the Kinkinbagwa furnace. Roar! Feeling that the breath of the fire spirit orb had disappeared, the lava giant roared angrily and punched Lin Su. The huge fist covered Lin Su for several feet like a millstone. At the same time, an invisible force locked Lin Su. He found that he couldn't use shadow change to dodge. Boom! With a loud bang, the iron fist of the lava giant hit the ground, and the whole platform shook, but strangely, such a huge force did not smash a rock. Brother Ye, why don't you help Lin Kid? Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji had already dodged to a distance when the lava giant appeared. Seeing that Lin Su was hit by the iron fist, Yan Luo Tianzi showed a playful smile at the corner of his mouth. I was a little delayed today, and the update was a little late. The next chapter will be before 12 o'clock. At the same time, thank you to the viewer Xianxia for the monthly ticket. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 194. It's just the strength of Yuanying in the early stage, and his consciousness is still intact. Sewer should be able to deal with it, and there is no need for me to take action. Yaoji smiled faintly, as if he was not worried at all about Lin Su being hit by the lava giant. Facts have proved that there is indeed no need to worry about Lin Su, because after the lava giant retracted its fist, there was no trace of Lin Su at all, let alone blood or anything. Lin Su seemed to have suddenly disappeared under the lava giant's giant fist. Huh. Fortunately, I know the earth escape technique, otherwise it would be terrible. Suddenly there was a flash of yellow light 3 feet away, and Lin Su emerged from the ground. Just when the giant fist of the lava giant came near, he suddenly remembered the earth escape technique that he had not used for a long time, and burrowed into the rocks beneath him. Among them, he escaped the giant fist of the lava giant, but this guy was indeed very powerful. Lin Su, who was underground, also felt a violent vibration. Fortunately, this 5-element sacred mountain seemed to be blessed by a powerful formation. The ground was not blasted away by the giant fist of the lava giant. Ho! Seeing that Lin Su was safe and sound, the dragon and tiger beast in the distance rushed over and roared repeatedly. The dragon's face was full of concern. When he saw Lin Su being hit by the lava giant just now, the dragon and tiger beast's eyes suddenly flashed. It was red. If something happened to Lin Su, wouldn't it cut off his path to awakening his bloodline and becoming a divine beast? When he thought of this, the dragon and tiger beast became furious. He turned his head and looked at the lava giant with murderous intent. Thunder and flames surged all over his body. With one kick, his 4 claws turned into an afterimage and rushed towards the lava giant. His body swished in the air. Zooming in, it became the same size as the lava giant in the blink of an eye. It knocked the lava giant to the ground with a thunderous force, and the entire platform shook violently again. Roar! The 2 hind paws firmly stepped on the lava giant's body, and the 2 front paws of the dragon and tiger beast turned into afterimages, constantly hitting the lava giant's body with surging thunderbolt flames, and only the fiery red lava was scattered in all directions. Flying, it quickly cooled in the air and turned into stones that splashed on the ground. In just a few breaths, the hill-like lava giant was broken into pieces by the furious dragon and tiger beast, turning into countless dark red rubbles. Hi! Yaoji couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. He was not shocked by the strength of the dragon tiger beast, but he was a little disgusted by the dragon tiger beast's vigorous attack. In his impression, the dragon tiger beast was still he has never been so angry and attacked with all his strength, and the reason is actually for this guy Lin Su. I really don't know what kind of obsession this kid got into dragon tiger beast, to make dragon tiger beast be so devoted to him. I have been the master of the dragon and tiger beast for hundreds of years, and I have never seen the dragon and tiger beast so close to me, making me nervous. This person is so irritating. Yaoji sighed long and short here, and Lin Su was also surprised by the sudden burst of super combat power from the dragon and tiger beast. Although the aura of the lava giant was only in the early stage of nascent soul, it was far inferior to the aura of the aborigines in the Tianling realm. Differently, the power of the lava giant is much stronger than his breath, otherwise Lin Su would not have been forced to use earth escape technique to escape with one punch. Such a powerful lava giant didn't even last a few breaths under the dragon tiger beast's claws, and was torn into pieces by it in the blink of an eye. It seemed that he had underestimated the dragon tiger beast before. After killing the lava giant, the dragon tiger beast returned to its original size, ran to Lin Su, rubbed Lin Su's waist fawningly, and growled softly. "Big cat, thank you very much." Lin Su turned over and rode on the back of the dragon and tiger beast, patted its neck. "Let's go and find other spirit beads." After seeing the true strength of the dragon tiger beast, Lin Su no longer plans to take action. He will leave all the hard work to the dragon tiger beast. Ho! Roaring excitedly, the dragon tiger beast spread its hooves and ran towards the mountain road. It understood what Lin Su meant, which was to let itself act as a thug and coolie. However, the dragon tiger beast was willing to act as Lin Su's coolie, as long as Lin Su being able to ride on it all the time will continuously stimulate the power of its bloodline. Just as Lin Su and the others left, 3 figures appeared from behind a large stone. They were actually the Xianxia trio from the Xianxia Palace. Palace Master, the beads that boy Lin Su collected just now are some kind of incredible treasure. When should we do it? Su Qianqian said with a cold light in his eyes. This mountain peak is very weird. Don't act rashly for now. The 3 of them seem to be here to find something. Let's follow them first to see what they are looking for. Su Qianqian shook his head and said, although the demon spirits here are not very powerful, they can still wear down their strength to some extent. When they are exhausted, we will take action again. The master of the palace is wise. Su Qianqian and Su Tiandi said in unison, and the 3 of them followed carefully from a distance. After Su Yinyang fell into Lin Su's hands, Su Tiandi completely fell to Su Qianqian. The 3 of them wandered around in the Sea of Clouds for more than a month before discovering the Tianling continent. Different from Lin Su and the others, Su Qianqian and the others are too arrogant and look down on the aborigines of the Tianling realm. Therefore, they do not know that the spiritual world passage is in the land of death, nor do they know about repairing the barrier. They only heard about the Tianling realm. There is a sacred mountain in the world, and I guessed it might be related to the spiritual world passage, so I came here to check, but unexpectedly I discovered the whereabouts of Lin Su and others. Because he was quite wary of the strength of Lin Su and the others, Su Qianqian did not take action immediately. He just fell behind the 3 of them from a distance, waiting for an opportunity to take action. There are many demons on the 5 Elements mountain. The lava giant that appeared just now is also very powerful. Maybe there will be more powerful demons. If they can fight with Lin Su and the other 2 to a draw, Su Qianqian and the others can reap the benefits. Because Su Qianqian and the other 2 carefully hid their bodies, Lin Su and the others did not find that they were followed by the people of Xianxia Palace. They continued to clear the demons and climb up the mountain road. Lin Su completely left the task of dealing with the demons to the dragon tiger beast, and he lay comfortably on the soft and broad back of the dragon head. In order to please Lin Su, the dragon tiger beast performed very hard. Often the demons were torn into pieces by its claws as soon as they appeared, or they were split into nothingness by a thunderbolt. The climbing speed was much faster. The gold spirit bead, wood spirit bead, and water spirit bead fell into Lin Su's hands one after another. Like the fire spirit bead, these 3 spirit beads were also guarded by powerful demon spirits. Among them, the guardian demon spirit of the water spirit bead, the ice demon spirit, was the most powerful, having reached the late stage of the nascent soul, and was much stronger than the dragon tiger beast. Seeing that the dragon tiger beast was not an ice demon spirit, Lin Su simply hid behind Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi. Of course, if he borrowed the power of Tyrant Bear King, it would not be too difficult for him and the dragon tiger beast to kill the ice demon spirit together, but in this way he would definitely fall into a weak state. There are many demon spirits on the 5 Elements Divine Mountain. If they fall into a weak state, their self-protection ability will be greatly reduced. Although they have the protection of the dragon tiger beast, Lin Su dare not completely bet his own safety on the dragon tiger beast. Besides, it was him and the dragon tiger beast who were doing the hard work all along the way. Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi were very relaxed, so it was time for them to do some work. They were the ones who were eager to enter the spirit world, and they couldn't do everything by themselves, right? Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi also saw Lin Su's dissatisfaction. Besides, the ice demon spirit was so powerful that it was a bit unreasonable for Lin Su to deal with it alone. Therefore, after Lin Su hid behind the 2 of them, they looked at each other and attacked at the same time in tacit understanding. Although the ice demon spirit was powerful, it didn't have much consciousness. Under the joint efforts of Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi, it was quickly defeated, blasted into pieces, and dissipated between heaven and earth. Now only the Earth Spirit bead is left. As long as the Earth Spirit bead is obtained, the 5 spirit beads will be gathered, and Lin Su and the other 2 can go down to the land of death through the sky pillar to repair the barrier. Continuing to climb upwards, more than half a month passed, and Lin Su and the other 2 came to the peak of the 5 elements divine mountain. The Earth Spirit power here is extremely rich, and the Earth Spirit bead must be here. But unlike the other spirit beads, Lin Su wandered around the peak for a long time and did not find any trace of the Earth Spirit bead, which made him very strange. Strange, the Earth Spirit power here is so abundant, the Earth Spirit bead should be here. Why can't I find it? Lin Su frowned. This is already the peak, the Earth Spirit bead must be here, but we haven't found it yet, let's look for it again. Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi were not idle either. They released their spiritual consciousness to explore every inch of the land on the peak inch by inch, and finally found a 2-foot square cave under an inconspicuous weed. The Earth Spirit power was released from the cave. This Earth Spirit pearl must be in the cave, but how can we collect it? The cave is only 2 feet square, too narrow, Lin Su and the other 2 can't get in at all. Although the dragon tiger beast is powerful, it can only grow bigger and not smaller, so they can't rely on it. More importantly, this 5 elements mountain is guarded by a formation, and the rocks are extremely hard and can't be destroyed at all. Lin Su and the other 2 tried for a long time but couldn't break the cave. Lin Su tried the earth escape technique and found that there was a huge force repelling him, and he couldn't sink into the ground at all. After thinking about it, there was only one way, that is, Lin Su restored his original body and shrunk his body to drill in, only in this way can the Earth Spirit Pearl be taken out. However, King Yan Luo knew that Lin Su was a dragon, but Yewuji didn't know it yet. In this case, he would definitely not be able to hide it from Yewuji. With a sigh, Lin Su confessed his origin and identity to Yewuji. He originally thought that Yewuji would be angry, but who knew that the other party was not surprised at all. Suer, I already knew your identity. Father-in-law, you already knew it? Did Pinger or Yuer tell you? Do they need to tell me? Suer, you underestimate me too much. I am the island master of Spirit Beast Island after all. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 195. Yewuji spoke firmly and looked indifferent, but there was already a turmoil in his heart. He said that he had already figured out Lin Su's identity, and he was telling lies with his eyes open, just to protect himself in front of the Emperor of Hell. Just to save face. Rightward arrow. The Emperor of Yama could see Lin Su's true form because he had silver eyes that break the illusion, and although Yewuji was the owner of the Spirit Beast Island, he did not have silver eyes that broke the illusion, nor did he look like how could Ye Ping-er, who was born with a demon spirit body and be able to sense Lin Su's demon beast body, tell that Lin Su had the body of a dragon? The reason why Yewuji said this was entirely for his own sake. Think about it, Emperor Yama had already noticed it, but Yewuji had no idea about it. Moreover, this man was his son-in-law, and he was under his nose all day long. Walking around underground is such a shameful thing. Girls are so outgoing. How dare you hide such a big thing from my father? Yewuji lamented in his heart, and there was still a hint of anger. He was not a rigid person. This kind of thing was not unacceptable. It was just that it had been hidden for so long, which made him angry. Moreover, this kind of anger could not be expressed. It's frustrating enough. Lin Su didn't know Yewuji's true thoughts. He thought that Yewuji had really known about his body of a dragon for a long time. At that moment, he no longer had any worries, and his body turned into his true form in a flash, a small mountain. A silver-white dragon the size of a mound appeared in front of Emperor Yama and Yewuji, then quickly shrank to the thickness of an arm and twisted into the hole in the ground. The cave was extremely dark, but it had no effect on Lin Su. After walking down the cave for about 10 feet, Lin Su came to a 3-foot square cave. Instead of seeing the earth spirit bead, he saw it. An earth yellow fat little pig over a foot long was lying on a hammock made of vines, sleeping soundly. Waves of earth spirit power emanated from the little fat pig's body, and along with its rhythmic snoring and flailing ears, it looked extremely cute and weird. Is the earth spirit pearl in the belly of this little fat pig? Lin Su had this thought, and turned back into a human form in a flash. Anyway, the cave was 3 feet square, which was more than enough to accommodate him. He picked up the little fat pig from the hammock. The little guy's nose moved, one of his little hind legs kicked, and he continued to sleep soundly without any awareness. This alertness is really not good. Holding the little fat pig in his arms, Lin Su's consciousness probed into the little fat pig's body, but was surprised to find that an unknown energy blocked his consciousness, making it impossible to detect the situation inside the little fat pig's body. Until now, others have been unable to detect the situation in Lin Su's Dantian. This is the first time that Lin Su has been unable to detect the situation in other people's bodies. Strange, this little white pig is not simple. Lin Su twitched the corner of his mouth, and the expression on his face was full of confusion. The feeling of holding this little fat pig in his arms was no different. If it weren't for the power of the earth spirit that was constantly exuding from his body, Lin Su would not be able to do it at all. Connect it with the earth spirit bead. Forget it, let's go out first. Maybe the palace master and father-in-law will come up with something. After observing for a long time, he still couldn't see what was happening. Lin Su could only turn into his real body, roll up the little fat pig and swim out of the cave. After getting out of the cave, Lin Su transformed into his true form. Of course, he didn't forget to take out his clothes and put them on. Then he hugged the little white pig and walked towards Yewuji and Emperor Yama, who were standing aside. "How's it going? Have you got the earth spirit pearl?" As soon as Lin Su came out of the hole, Yewuji and Emperor Yama surrounded him. It must be said that Yewuji's ability to adapt was really strong, and there was nothing strange about his face. "I don't know if I've got this or not." With a wry smile, Lin Su handed the little fat pig King Yewuji and Emperor Yama in his arms. "This is..." Yewuji and Emperor Yama had such sharp eyesight that they immediately noticed that the little fat pig was unusual. The bursts of earth spirit power emanating from the little fat pig were the same as the previous 4 spirit beads. "Is the earth spirit pearl in the belly of this little pig?" Yewuji guessed after pondering for a moment. "I've also guessed this, but I can't find out at all," Lin Su smiled bitterly. "Can't find out?" Yewuji and Emperor Yan were stunned when they heard this, and they released their spiritual consciousness to investigate the little fat pig. As expected, as Lin Su said, they were blocked by an unknown layer of energy and were completely unable to penetrate into the little fat pig. In vivo. This little fat pig is really weird. Wake it up and ask. Yewuji said, pinching the 2 big ears of the little fat pig and lifting it up. It was strange to say that despite such a big movement, the little fat pig was still fast asleep without any alertness at all, which made Lin Su quite speechless. "Forget it, let me do it." Taking the little fat pig from Yewuji's hand, Lin Su gathered the power of Long Yuan into the shape of a silver needle and pierced the little fat pig's white buttocks. Ouch! A howl like a wolf came out of the little fat pig's mouth, and its figure jumped up several feet from Lin Su's hand. This guy finally woke up. "Who is it? Who pierced my butt with a needle?" The little fat pig had an angry expression on his face, wheezing white air from his nose, and he was floating in the air, with a pair of small eyes wandering around Lin Su and the others. This little fat pig is really not simple. The eyes of Lin Su and the 3 of them were all bright. This 5-element sacred mountain has air restrictions. Even the late nascent-souled Dzogchen monks like Yewuji and Yama Tianzi can't resist it, but this little fat pig can't resist it. The forbidden air restriction floats in mid-air, and this alone can tell that it is extraordinary. Apparition. Although he could not fly in the air, this did not affect the use of Lin Su's body skills. He left a phantom in place. Lin Su had appeared behind the little fat pig and hugged him. Strangely enough, as soon as Lin Su hugged the little fat pig screamed, as if it suddenly lost the power to float, and was caught by Lin Su and fell to the ground. "Who are you? Let me go." A flash of panic flashed in the little fat pig's eyes. As soon as Lin Su came into contact with its body, it couldn't use any of its power. This was something it had never encountered before. "Little guy, you are obviously just a little kid, why are you pretending to be an uncle?" Lin Su looked at the fierce-looking little white pig in his arms with some humor, stretched out his hand and tapped its head lightly. "Tell me, why are you here? Where is the Earth Spirit Pearl?" "This uncle is a soil pig." The little fat pig glared at Lin Su, his teeth grinding loudly. He really wanted to bite the hand that hit him on the head, but he didn't know why he couldn't use any strength at all. "Come out. Are you Tu Ling Zhu?" Lin Su looked at the little fat pig with a surprised look on his face. The faces of Yewuji and Emperor Yama were also full of surprise. The little fat pig actually said that it was the Earth Spirit Bead. Could it be that the Spirit Bead took the form? "That's right, I am Lord Tulingzu, who is number one in the sky and unparalleled on Earth." The little fat pig raised his head proudly. This time Lin Su understood clearly. The little fat pig was talking about Earth Pig instead of Earth Pearl. "This pig is not the other bead, but judging from the previous situation, I'm afraid this Earth Spirit Pig it is formed from the Earth Spirit Bead." There was just one thing that Lin Su didn't understand. The other 4 spirit beads among the 5 spirit beads still maintained their original state. How could the Earth Spirit Bead be able to transform and have its own consciousness? With a thought in his mind, Lin Su took out the 4 spirit beads of gold, wood, water, and fire from the spirit field space and floated them in front of him. As soon as the 4 spirit beads appeared, the expression of the Earth Spirit Pig changed. "Xiaojin, Xiaomu, Xiaoshui, Xiaohuo. How come you were caught by him too?" The 4 spirit beads suddenly flashed with 4 colors of light, as if in response to the Earth Spirit Pig. Now not only Lin Su, but also Yewuji and Emperor Yama were sure that the Earth Spirit Pig was definitely the incarnation of the Earth Spirit Bead. Success, but the other 4 spirit beads have not yet fully opened their spiritual wisdom and still retain their original shapes. "Xiaotu, are you the Earth Spirit Bead of the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth?" Lin Su didn't know what to call the Earth Spirit Pig, so he just copied what it had just called the other 4 spirit beads. "That's right, I am Uncle Tulingzu, who was cultivated by absorbing the essence of heaven and earth from the Earth Spirit Bead of the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth." Tulingzu raised his neck and raised his head with a stinking look on his face. At the same time, he squinted at Lin Su with his little eyes and said disdainfully, "Boy, you are so rude. My uncle's name is also what you can do, you should call me Lord." Lin Su had a black streak on his head. This earthly pig was too stinky. His little arms and legs were all my uncle. Why didn't he see it? Stretching out his left hand and flicking hard on the head of the Tuliang pig, Lin Su glared and scolded, "No big or small. You have been captured by me now. I will be your boss from now on. If you want to call me brother, do you hear me? Asshole. You bully the pig too much, I will fight with you." The Earth Spirit Pig was furious. He was the first among the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth to transform. The demon spirits on the entire 5 Elements mountain were respectful to him. When had they ever suffered such a disadvantage? At that moment, the Earth Spirit Pig wanted to burst out its Earth Spirit power and pinch Lin Su, but for some reason, it couldn't use any of its Earth Spirit power in Lin Su's arms, and could only kick on 4 small sticks. The legs were screaming in Lin Su's arms, baring their teeth and claws. "Okay, Xiaotu, no one will come to save you even if your throat is broken." Lin Su chuckled. When he collected the other 4 spirit beads before, he found that he seemed to be able to suppress the spiritual power of the spirit beads. Now the performance of the Earth Spirit Pig just confirmed this. The Tyrant Bear King told him that if his spirit field space wanted to be promoted from the initial place to the small world, it must obtain the power of the 5 elements. Isn't the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth the best source of the 5 elements? As long as the Earth Spirit Pig is subdued and the other 4 spiritual beads that have not yet transformed, the spiritual field space can be promoted to the small world. Of course, repairing the barrier will consume some of the original power of the 5 elements, but it should not be completely exhausted. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 196. I am a majestic divine beast, powerful and unyielding. How can I be your little brother? Stop thinking so much. The Earth Spirit Pig turned its head to the other side, looking like it would rather die than surrender. Father-in-law, Palace Master, this little guy has a bit of a temper. I'll have a chat with him alone. After saying a few words, Lin Su changed back to his original form. After shrinking, he wrapped himself in the Earth Spirit Pig and crawled back into the cave. After reaching the deep cave, he regained his human form. Are you a dragon? The face of the Earth Spirit Pig changed, and its small mouth grew bigger. Just when Lin Su returned to his original body, it felt a pure power of dragon essence in Lin Su. Compared with its Earth Spirit power, the strength is not inferior in level. That's right. How about it, am I qualified to be your big brother now? Lin Su looked at Tulingzu with a smile. Humph. So what if you are a dragon? You are just a dragon. What qualifications do you have to be my elder brother? The Earth Spirit Pig put away the shock on his face, but still turned his head and grimaced. Lin Su knew that he might have to take some strong medicine, otherwise he would definitely not be able to subdue this unruly Earth Spirit Pig. With a thought, Lin Su opened the entrance to the spirit field space. This is why he brought the Earth Spirit Pig back to the cave. If Yewuji and Emperor Yama saw it, the secret of the spirit field space could be revealed. It's about to be exposed. Huh? What are these 4 breaths? The Earth Spirit Pig was still ignoring him, but suddenly his nose moved, and he turned his head to look at the entrance of the spiritual field space with a surprised look on his face. Lin Su had already collected the 4 spirit beads of gold, wood, water, and fire into the spirit field space. Now that the entrance to the spirit field space was opened, the breath of the 4 spirit beads naturally came out from it. The Earth Spirit Pig and the 4 spirit beads, the beads belong to the same origin, so naturally I sensed them immediately. Your 4 brothers are all inside. How about it? Do you want to go in and have a look? Lin Su pointed towards the entrance and said with a smile. Humph. Just go in. I am a unique divine beast in the world. How can I be trapped in this small space like yours? The Earth Spirit Pig put away his surprised expression and raised his head again and hummed disdainfully. The Earth Spirit Pig is an animal body cultivated from the Earth Spirit Pearls of the 5 Spirit Pearls of Heaven and Earth, so there is nothing wrong with saying it is a divine beast, and relatively speaking, it is much more powerful than most divine beasts. Then please. Lin Su stretched out his hand and made a false gesture, but secretly laughed in his heart. This little stupid pig actually used his spiritual field space as a general storage space. Lin Su could already imagine the Earth Spirit Pig entering the spiritual field. Tianzong Fang's horrified expression. Humph. You arrogant guy actually dares to expose the storage space. When I go in and save the brothers, I will take away all the things in your space and then destroy the space. Let's see if you still dare to try. Take me as my younger brother. Lin Su was plotting against Tulingzu, so why wasn't Tulingzu plotting against Lin Su? But it didn't expect that this was not a storage space, but the initial place, and it was destined to suffer. With his head held high, The Earth Spirit Pig swaggered from the entrance into the spiritual field space. Lin Su quickly closed the entrance and took a deep breath. Opening the entrance to the spirit field space is really consuming the power of the soul. If he had not reached the great perfection state in the later stage of pill formation, and his ability to control the spirit field space has also greatly increased, I am afraid that he would be talking nonsense with the Earth Spirit Pig. Within a period of time, it will not only consume a quarter of the power of the soul. But fortunately, the Earth Spirit Pig has finally entered the spirit field space, and what happens next is out of its control, he. Lin Su was secretly happy and controlled his soul to enter the spirit field space. Wow! What a cute little pig! What's your name, little pig? Is it your husband's new pet? Little pig, the smell on your body is so strange, it looks like those beads. As soon as Lin Su entered the spirit field space, he saw the Earth Spirit Pig being held in the arms of Ye Ping'er and the other girls. Even the cold and stern Jade Rakshasa Shen Baiun was no exception, and the Earth Spirit Pig was with a dull expression on his face. He let the women touch and rub it here and there, falling into a state of trance. Boy, this is the beginning land, right? This is the beginning land, right? How did you own the beginning land? As soon as he saw Lin Su showing up in the spirit field space, the Earth Spirit Pig's dull expression suddenly changed, and he flew out of the arms of the women and flew in front of Lin Su, his face full of excitement. Yelled at Lin Su. Lin Su did not answer Tu Lingzhu's question immediately. Instead, he stretched out his hand and grabbed Tu Ling Pig, held it in his arms, and slapped Tu Ling Pig's white and plump body. On Du's little butt, he scolded softly, "You dare to call me brother or brat, you are so rude, I'm looking for a beating. Asshole! You dare to spank me." Tu Lingzhu was furious. He had been slapped on the head by Lin Su just now, and now he even got spanked by Lin Su. He wanted to fight back but found that his power was blocked again. All he could do was stamp his hooves and show his teeth and claws again. Nonsense! I'm going to beat you. Lin Su slapped him down again and said, "This is my territory. When I get here, I have to coil up the dragon and lie down for the tiger, not to mention you are just a little pig." Lin Su knew very well that for a rebellious guy like Tu Lingzhu, he must first scare and subdue him, and then he could talk about other things. Of course, a psychological blow is far more effective than a physical one. "You," Tu Lingzhu glared at Lin Su angrily. "What are you doing? If you dare to glare at me again, I will continue to beat you." Lin Su raised his hand again in a gesture, and Tu Lingzhu immediately became excited and lowered his eyes angrily, not daring to glare at Lin Su anymore. Lin Su didn't use much force, and it didn't hurt much when he hit it, let alone hurt it. But being held down and spanked by someone was really embarrassing, not to mention that there were several leaves nearby. Ping'er and the girls were watching. Tu Lingzhu didn't want to bring bad luck to himself. That's right. Seeing that Tu Lingzhu gave in, Lin Su let go. As soon as Lin Su let go of his hand, the Earth Spirit Pig regained its strength and hid in Ye Ping'er's arms with a swoosh. A pair of small eyes looked at Lin Su warily. "Husband, you scared it all." Ye Ping'er held the Tu Ling Pig in her arms and watched Lin Su complaining dissatisfiedly. "Hey, this little guy also knows how to find an umbrella for himself." Lin Su shook his head in a funny way, strolled up to Ye Ping'er, looked at the earthly pig who was looking at him with a wary expression, waved his hands, and said, "Don't look like you are facing a formidable enemy. As I said, this is my territory. If I want to deal with you, do you think you can run away? What do you want?" After a moment of silence, Tu Lingzhu spoke in a low voice. The arrogance from before was no longer in his voice, but instead he felt discouraged. When Lin Su heard this, he said, "This guy's arrogance has finally been suppressed. What a show. I just said, I want you to recognize me as your big brother." Lin Su confidently pointed around. "You saw it too, yes. This is the initial place, My initial place. I think as one of the 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth, you should understand this initial place. What does the land mean? How about it, do you think I am qualified to be your big brother now? What good will it do if I agree to be your little brother? Of course the earthling pig knew what the beginning land represented, so it was so surprised just now. Since you can't resist, you can only accept it, but if you want it to obey, you have to give it some benefits, right? Of course there are benefits. You should know that if the initial land wants to evolve, it must find the origin of the 5 elements. The 5 spirit beads of heaven and earth are the best sources of the 5 elements. With you and the other 4 spirit beads, I can upgrade this initial place. For the small world. As the tide rises, you can also get a lot of benefits. It is not impossible to gather the power of the other 4 spirit beads into you and transform you from an earth spirit pig to a 5 spirit pig. To be honest, before entering the spirit field space, Lin Su only knew that with the help of the 5 spirit beads, the initial land could be promoted to a small world. As for what changes would happen to the 5 spirit beads, he really didn't know. However, the tyrant bear king who was pretending to sleep not far away just now gave him a spiritual message, telling him that the 5 spirit pearls can benefit from the promotion of the initial land, because the earth spirit pig has opened his mind and cultivated into an animal body. As long as Lin Su's help is available, the original power of the other 4 spirit beads can be gathered into the body of the earth spirit pig when the small world is formed. Lin Su was thinking about how to convince Tulingzhu, and the tyrant bear king undoubtedly gave him the best reason. The carrot and stick method has always been tried and tested. First, scare the earth pig and make it fear you, and then give it enough benefits so that it is not afraid that it will not agree. Among the 5 spirit beads of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, only the earth spirit pig has opened its mind and cultivated into an animal body. The other 4 spirit beads are still in the state of enlightenment. The earth spirit pig calls them brothers just because they belong to the same family. It's just a source, there's no emotion to speak of. Now that he has the opportunity to absorb the original power of the other 4 spirit beads to take himself one step further, Tu Lingzhu is irresistibly tempted. Can you really let me absorb the original power of Xiaojin and the others and be promoted to the 5 spiritual pigs? There was a trace of doubt and greed in the little eyes of the earthly pig. Of course. Unlike you, these 4 spirit beads have not opened up their sanity. When my initial place is promoted to a small world, I can use the power of the world to extract their original power and inject it into your body. Lin Su looked at Tu Lingzhu with a smile and said, how about it, being my little brother is a big benefit, right? Now do you think I am qualified to be your big brother? The small eyes of the earth spirit pig rolled around for a long time, and finally gritted his teeth and said, okay. I agree. Big brother. Okay, okay. Haha. When Tulingzhu called out big brother, Lin Su's face suddenly lit up and he couldn't help laughing. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 197. Xiaotu, there's something I need to tell you first. You have to keep my ownership of the initial land a secret. You can't let anyone outside know about it. Do you understand? Lin Su can store the 4 spiritual beads of gold, wood, water, and fire in the spirit field space, but the earth spirit pig cannot, because then the fact that he has a space to store living creatures cannot be hidden from Yewuji and Emperor Yama. Therefore, the earth spirit pig cannot stay in the spirit field space and must follow Lin Su. In this way, it will inevitably come into contact with Yewuji, Emperor Yama and others. If we do not explain it to it first, what if this little pig, if the guy accidentally lets something slip, he'll be in trouble. As I write this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Including those 2 people outside, Tulingzhu blinked. Of course. Otherwise, why would I take you back to the cave? Lin Su nodded. Okay. Listen to me, brother. But let me tell you, Brother, I am already your little brother. Shouldn't you give me some benefits? I've been staying on this sacred mountain of 5 elements, and I'm almost starting to feel like a bird in my mouth. Coming. Tulingzu adapted very quickly, and soon fell into the role of younger brother, and began to ask for benefits from Lin Su. It stands to reason that a cute little pig licking its face and asking for food would make everyone overflowing with love. What's more, Lin Su intended to conquer the earth pig and would not refuse it. It's a pity that he really doesn't have much around him now. The delicious food and some of the wine and meat prepared before were all wiped out by the foodie, Tyrant Bear King. At that moment, Lin Su could only smile awkwardly and said, "Xiao Tu, I don't have anything delicious for you right now. Please be patient for now. After we come down from the mountain, I will definitely let you eat as much as you like. When we return to the territory of the snake people, as an earth spirit pig, are we still afraid that the snake people of the snake spirit clan will not try their best to please them? Do you want anything delicious then? Brother, you said this. You have to let me eat enough by then. I have a big appetite." As the earthling pig spoke, he raised a short leg and touched his chubby belly. "Okay, this is another foodie. It seems that I have to prepare more wine and meat to store in the future, otherwise I really won't be able to satisfy the two foodies, Tyrant Bear King and Earth Spirit Pig." Yewuji and Emperor Yama were still waiting outside. Lin Su couldn't stay too long, lest they arouse suspicion. After explaining a few words to Yeping'er and the other girls, Lin Su put the 4 spiritual beads into the Kinkan furnace. Exited the spirit field space, then opened the entrance to the spirit field space and released the earth spirit pig. Boom! Boom! Transforming into his true form, Lin Su took the earth spirit pig and burrowed out. Before he could get out of the hole, he felt violent sounds of fighting coming from outside. Are there other demon spirits on this peak? Lin Su looked at the earth spirit pig in confusion. The little guy immediately shook his head like a rattle. Absolutely not. This peak is my territory. Which blind demon dares to run wild here? The little guy's tone is quite small. Lin Su looked at the Tuliang pig up and down again. The little guy's aura was high and low. It was impossible to tell its true cultivation level, but it would definitely not exceed the nascent soul stage. Just like the human world, the heavenly spirit world can only accommodate half steps of spiritual transformation at most. If you go further, you must go to the spiritual world to truly break through to the God transformation stage. I don't know where this little guy got so much confidence. Shaking his head, Lin Su sped up and rushed out of the cave. After rushing out of the cave, he instantly transformed into a human form and put on his clothes. Then he looked in the direction where the sound of fighting came from. It turns out it's them. Those who were fighting Yewuji and Emperor Yama were none other than the 3 members of Xianxia from Xiushan Palace. What surprised Lin Su was that Yewuji and Emperor Yama were actually at a disadvantage at this moment. Not long after Lin Su took the earth spirit pig into the cave, the traces of Xianxia and the 3 people were discovered by the Emperor Yama. The 3 people following behind them must have bad intentions. They were all enemies and had nothing to say. And immediately started playing table tennis pong. Originally, with the strength of Yewuji and Emperor Yama, plus the assistance of the dragon tiger beast, Xianxia, and the others should be unable to resist, but the situation is exactly the opposite. Xianxia and Xianxia respectively summoned a stone giant, and its strength was not weaker than that of Yewuji and Yama. The situation suddenly became a 5-on-3 situation. Yewuji, Yama, and the dragon tiger beast suddenly fell. At leeward. "Xiao Tu, didn't you say that no demon would dare to set foot here?" Lin Su asked, pointing to the 2 stone giants who were fighting with Yewuji. The face of the earth spirit pig suddenly turned red. It had just boasted that no demon spirit dared to set foot on its territory, but in the blink of an eye, it was slapped hard by reality. This was simply a naked slap in the face. "I can't stand it. A thundering roar rang out from the mouth of the Tuliang pig, which startled Lin Su. He didn't expect that the small body of the Tuliang pig could make such a huge roar when it was angry. Su Kangxiang and the others paused their attacks, and then all looked towards Lin Su and Tu Lingzhu. Their eyes were focused on Tu Lingzhu, and their faces were full of surprise. At this moment, the Earth Spirit Pig is suspended in mid-air 2 feet above the ground. The raging power of the Earth Spirit surges out of it like a landslide and tsunami, forming a huge storm of destruction. The entire peak of the 5 elements sacred mountain is all were enveloped in the storm. King. The 2 stone giants summoned by Su Kangxiang and Su Qianqian knelt down tremblingly, with a look of surrender. They were so shocked that Su Kangxiang and Su Qianqian's eyes almost fell out. Damn, what's going on? This stone giant was summoned by a one-time magic weapon. Why did he get scared when he saw this little fat pig in khaki color? The reason why Su Kangxiang and the others dared to follow Lin Su and the others, and even took the initiative to attack Yewuji and Yama Emperor when they were discovered, was because of this one-time magic weapon that could summon the stone giant. These 2 one-time summoning magic weapons were obtained by Su Kangxiang and the others before they came to the 5 elements sacred mountain. They are extremely powerful. The stone giant summoned is at the late stage of nascent soul, the great perfection state, and its combat power is extremely tyrannical. It is precisely because of this that they can be summoned. Yewuji, Emperor Yama and the dragon and tiger beast were firmly at a disadvantage. But who would have thought that the stone giant summoned by this one-time magic weapon would rebel in a gorgeous way when he saw the Earth Spirit Pig? Speaking of which, the lives of Su Kangxiang and the 3 of them were not good. What they got was a one-time magic weapon to summon the stone giant. The Earth Spirit Pig is the incarnation of the 5 elements of Earth spirits. It has a natural suppression of all Earth monsters and demon spirits, not to mention this one-time summoned object formed entirely from the power of Earth spirits. Rebellion is simply a matter of course. You 2 are so brave, how dare you come to my uncle's territory and run wild? The Earth Spirit Pig flew in front of the 2 stone giants with a swish, and stood upright in mid-air. Its 2 small front hooves pointed at the 2 stone giants angrily, and saliva flew from its mouth. Although it was flying in the air several feet above the ground, it was only at the same level as the head of the stone giant. Then a funny scene appeared. A little fat pig more than a foot long was spitting on the ground in mid-air. He roared at the 2 stone giants who were several feet tall. The 2 stone giants were kneeling on one knee, half bent, looking frightened. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed that Lin Su could be killed. Such an incredible scene occurred. Damn it! What's there to be afraid of with a little pig? Quickly kill it. It's a waste. Both Su Kangxiang and Su Qianqian felt that they had lost control of the stone giants. Looking at the Earth Spirit Pig who was still scolding the 2 stone giants, they were a little at a loss for a moment, but Su Tiandi beside them couldn't help but jump up, pointing at the Tuliang pig and yelling. It's just that he seemed to have chosen the wrong person. Tulingzhu had already suffered a big loss from Lin Su. Although he finally surrendered and accepted his eldest brother, he still felt a little uncomfortable. In addition, he had lost face in front of Lin Su just now. When there is no place for the evil spirit to spread, Su Tiandi's sudden appearance will stir up a hornet's nest. Asshole! Who do you think you are, and you dare to clamor to kill me? The Tuliang pig was so furious that he jumped up and down in mid-air. He pointed at the sky and the earth with his right front hoof and shouted, "You 2, kill this rude bastard. Knead him into a meat pie. As you command, King." The 2 stone giants made a dull sound from their mouths, and at the same time cast their cold and murderous gazes on Xianxia. "You, what do you want to do?" Although the stone giant is huge, its speed is not slow. In the blink of an eye, it has surrounded Su Tiandi one after another. Just as Su Tiandi roared angrily, he received a heavy punch on his back, which was like a cannonball. He was beaten and flew out. Insult the king and die. Cold and deep voices came out from the mouths of the two stone giants at the same time. The two stone giants were like playing rubber balls. They kept moving quickly and punched Su Tiandi heavily, knocking his body forward and backward. Fly. These two stone giants don't know much about Taoism and rely on pure strength. Let alone Su Tiandi, even Su Xianxia dare not challenge them in terms of strength. He was hit with a sandbag and had no power to fight back. Stop, stop. Su Xianxia and Su Qianqian were so anxious that they were sweating profusely, but the two stone giants had completely ignored their orders and kept beating Su Tiandi to death. Although the monks in the middle stage of nascent soul were strong physically and tenacious in life, but I can't withstand such a beating. If this continues, Su Tiandi may be beaten to death by these two stone giants. Damn it! Disappear! Su Qianqian moved the small earth yellow flag in his hands with eyes full of fire. Su Qianqian also followed suit. Two yellow lights flew out of the small earth yellow flags in their hands and disappeared into the body of the stone giant. Suddenly, two stone giants' attack stopped, and then the body began to rapidly collapse inch by inch, and soon decomposed into the power of the earth spirit and dissipated in the air. The small cocky flags in the hands of Su Xianxia and Su Qianqian also lost all their luster with the disappearance of the stone giant. Only two crisp sounds of crack were heard, and the two small flags broke into several pieces at the same time. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 198. After much effort, they finally got the powerful magic weapon. They were originally thinking about killing the enemy and making contributions, and showing off their face. But they didn't expect that they were slapped before they showed their face. It hurt so much. Su Xianxia and Su Qianqian were so angry that they were shaking all over. They originally hoped that the stone giants they summoned could narrow the gap between Yewuji and Yanluo Tianzi and kill them on the top of the Five Elements mountain. Unexpectedly, the two stone giants rebelled and became the other party's subordinates before they could play any role. They beat Su Tiandi half to death, forcing the two to disband them. They wasted two powerful magic weapons in vain, and they were so depressed that they vomited blood. Up to now, Su Xianxia and the other two did not know the true origin of the Earth Spirit Pig. After all, the Heaven and Earth Five Spirit Pearls, a treasure of heaven and earth, has always existed in legends. Including Lin Su and others, they only saw its true face when they came to the Five Elements mountain. What's more, the Earth Spirit Pig has opened its mind and cultivated into a beast. Therefore, Su Xianxia and the other two put the blame on Lin Su again, because they saw clearly that the Earth Spirit Pig flew up from Lin Su's arms. Damn that stinky boy, why does he always come out to mess things up? Su Xianxia gritted his teeth. He couldn't remember how many times he had been defeated by Lin Su. Every time he met this kid, nothing good would happen. It can be said that the process of Lin Su's rise to prominence in the Chaos Star Sea was the process of stepping on Su Tian Palace to rise to power. As soon as he appeared, he killed Su Wuming. Then, there were continuous deaths of cultivators from Su Tian Palace in his hands, especially the group from the God and Demon Secret Realm. Su Tian Palace was almost wiped out, all thanks to Lin Su. Later, Su Xianxia personally went to hunt down Lin Su, but was beaten by his sudden outburst and fled. At the wedding banquet on the Spirit Beast Island, Su Yuniang was beaten into a pig's head. In the end, he had to agree to several humiliating conditions to get out. Unexpectedly, he was defeated by Lin Su in the end. Now he finally had a chance to wipe out Yewuji and Yanluo Tianzi in one fell swoop, and Lin Su got a flying little fat pig from nowhere, which made the stone giants summoned by the disposable magic weapon that he had finally obtained with great difficulty rebel on the spot. God, this kid surnamed Lin is a demon star. He is obviously just a kid in the Jindan stage, why is he always the one who gets defeated? Su Xianxia was filled with grief and anger. If vision could kill, Lin Su would have died countless times. Lin Su knew that he was a thorn in Su Xianxia's eyes, But at this moment his attention was not on Xianxia at all, but on the Earth Spirit Pig. Too powerful. This Earth Spirit Pig is worthy of being the ancestor of the origin of Earth. When the two arrogant-looking stone giants saw the Earth Spirit Pig, they knelt down like mice seeing a cat, no, like a bullied young wife seeing an evil mother-in-law. As soon as the Earth Spirit Pig opened its mouth, the two stone giants immediately rebelled and beat Xianxia like a dead dog. It was really a good deal to get this little brother. Although the stone giant disappeared, the Earth Spirit Pig's anger had not yet been fully released. It was the only one among the 5 spirit pearls that had opened its mind and cultivated into a beast body. It was the well-deserved king of the 5 elements mountain. Except for being defeated by Lin Su, no one dared to provoke it. But just now, it was about to show off in front of Lin Su, the newly recognized big brother, and was slapped back before it could speak. Xianxia was still clamoring to kill it without knowing whether to live or die. How could the Earth Spirit Pig not be angry? Humph! Seeing the stone giant disappear, the Earth Spirit Pig snorted coldly, and its body turned into a shadow that was difficult to see with the naked eye, and rushed towards Xianxia who was lying on the ground. Before everyone could see what was going on, they saw Xianxia flying into the air with a miserable howl. Crackle! The Earth Spirit Pig's body was almost at its limit. Lin Su and others could only see a black light flashing around Xianxia. A series of dense explosions came from all over Xianxia's body. He was originally unable to fly, but was hit by the Earth Spirit Pig's frantic attack and was fixed in mid-air. Damn, what is the origin of this yellowish fat pig? Why is it so fierce? Xianxia and Xianxia were sweating coldly. They were not feeling well. On this 5 elements divine mountain, they were affected by the no-fly restrictions and could not fly at all, but the Earth Spirit Pig was not affected at all, and that abnormal speed was not something they could resist. They were not Xianxia, and could not feel how strong the force hitting them was, but just seeing that Xianxia was beaten so hard that he didn't even have the chance to scream, they knew that it was definitely not easy. Xianxia, let's go. Seeing that Xianxia's breath had begun to weaken rapidly, Xianxia frowned and immediately sent a voice message to Xianxia. But Palace Master, what about the world? Xianxia hesitated. One of the 3 deputy palace masters of Xiushan Palace had already died, Su Yuniang. Was Xianxia going to die here today? What can we do? Can you save him? If we don't leave now, it will be our turn once Xianxia dies. We won't be able to leave then. Xianxia gritted his teeth fiercely, turned around suddenly and turned into a stream of light and rushed down the mountain path. The speed was so fast that it left a long after image. Bar Book 69 New. Xianxia had already escaped, so Xianxia naturally didn't dare to stay any longer, and he also ran away and hurriedly followed. Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi were shocked by the powerful performance of the Earth Spirit Pig. When they reacted and wanted to intercept them, Xianxia and Xianxia had already run away. They could only sigh and give up the plan of intercepting them. After a while, with a scream that was not like a human voice, Xianxia finally fell from the air. However, at this moment, he had already become a pile of rotten meat, with only breathing in but no breathing out. There was still a little bit of the appearance of a mid-stage nascent soul master. Lin Su and the other 2 took a closer look and took a breath of cold air. This Xianxia was not only shattered in the flesh, but also in the soul. He really only had 1 breath left and could die at any time. Pa! The figure of the Earth Spirit Pig fell from the sky and sat on Xianxia's face, which had long lost its human form, and completely shattered the remaining breath of Xianxia. A gust of wind blew, and Xianxia's body shattered bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, it had turned into fine dust that drifted away with the wind. Shattered to pieces. Annihilated in body and soul. The dignified deputy hall master of Xiushan Hall, a master in the middle stage of Yuanying, was actually destroyed by the explosion of the Earth Spirit Pig. From beginning to end, He only had time to make two screams, one when he was blasted into the sky, and the other when he fell to the ground. His death was quite frustrating, but this also showed the strength of the Earth Spirit Pig. My goodness, I didn't expect this little guy to be so powerful. Lin Su was secretly shocked and felt scared. Fortunately, for some reason, he could restrain the Earth Spirit Pig. Otherwise, if the little fat pig had gone crazy just now, I'm afraid his fate would not be much better than Xianxia. After blasting Xianxia into slag, the Earth Spirit Pig finally vented its anger, and the surging Earth Spirit power was all absorbed into its body. It flew in front of Lin Su and laughed, "Brother, I killed that blind guy. How about it? I'm very powerful, right?" That expression was just like a child who wanted to be praised by adults and presented treasures. Awesome. Very awesome. This shows that your big brother has a good eye for talent. Lin Su smiled and hugged the Earth Spirit Pig, holding it in his arms, stroking its back and praising it. Getting Lin Su's praise, the Earth Spirit Pig looked very proud, and his mouth was grinning to his ears. "Suer, have you already recaptured this Earth Spirit Pig?" Yewuji and Yanluo came up, still with shock on their faces. Yewuji bared his teeth and looked at the harmless Earth Spirit Pig in Lin Su's arms. He could not connect it with the extremely violent killing god just now, and his mouth twitched. "Well, Xiao Tu is my little brother now." Lin Su grinned, and the Earth Spirit Pig nodded in cooperation, which made Yewuji and Yanluo envious. In terms of cultivation, they are at the late stage of Yuanying great perfection, a whole realm higher than Lin Su. In terms of status, one of them is the island master of Lingxiao Island, and the other is the hall master of Yanlushan. They are people who can shake the chaotic star sea with a stomp of their feet, but this Earth Spirit Pig doesn't even look at them, but is willing to be Lin Su's younger brother. This is really. Yewuji really didn't know what words to use to describe his current mood. After struggling for a long time, he could only say a few words of congratulations to Lin Su. On the one hand, Lin Su is Yewuji's son-in-law, and he is happy for Lin Su to have such an opportunity. On the other hand, he can't help but envy or even jealousy. In short, Yewuji's current mood is very complicated. Yanluo didn't say anything, but the look he looked at Lin Su was also very complicated. Once upon a time, the other party was still a junior who could be cultivated in his eyes. Although amazing, at most he had a little love for talent and a little appreciation. But now, Lin Su has become a person who is qualified to sit on an equal footing with him. Although Lin Su's cultivation is not yet at the nascent soul stage, the combat power he bursts out in a short period of time is not lower than that of others. In addition, the Earth Spirit Pig is such a powerful younger brother that it is against the sky. Yanluo is now wary of Lin Su, and at the same time, he is a little relieved. Fortunately, Lin Su and he are friends, not enemies. Fortunately, Lin Su is his Xiushan Palace's Shura. Father-in-law, Palace Master, the 5 spirits pearls are in hand, let's hurry back to the Snake Tribe's territory. Time is tight, and the barrier must be repaired within the remaining 8 months and rush to the spiritual world passage, otherwise Yewuji and Yanluo will not be able to successfully go to the spiritual world. At this moment, the 3 did not dare to delay and went down the mountain at the fastest speed. Perhaps they had almost cleared the monsters along the way when they went up the mountain, or perhaps it was because the Earth Spirit Pig accompanied them and frightened the remaining monsters. In short, Lin Su and others did not suffer any attack. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 199. Lord Earth Spirit. Returning to the territory of the Snake Tribe, Lin Su and the others went straight to the wooden house of the great prophet Kulia. When Kulia saw the Earth Spirit Pig, Her expression changed drastically, and she knelt down in fear. Well, get up. The Tuliang pig sitting on Lin Su's shoulder looked proud and nodded lightly. The great prophet Kulia stood up, her face full of respect. She was not at all indifferent to Lin Su and the others. Her eyes towards Lin Su became fiery. The earth spirit pig was sitting on Lin Su's shoulder. Looking at it, turns out that the relationship with Lin Su is extraordinary. Xiao Tu, I didn't realize that the prophet of the snake tribe is so respectful to you, Lin Su whispered to Tu Lingzhu. Of course. Tu Lingzhu looked proud. Last time this little girl came with a group of people to attack the mountain, I didn't even take action. I just called a few Tu Ling boys and beat them until they cried for father and mother. She dare you be disrespectful. Lin Su was speechless. It turned out that there was still such a period. No wonder the great prophet Kulia was more respectful when he saw the earth spirit pig than when he saw his own father. Prophet Kuria, we have obtained the 5 spirit beads. When will we start repairing the barrier? After sitting down, Kulia praised Lin Su and the others. Lin Su interrupted her passionate words impatiently and went straight to the topic. 3 days later. I need to prepare some materials to set up the formation, so that the fluctuations during the repair of the barrier will not be detected prematurely by the monsters in the land of death. Repair the barrier? Repair what barrier? Before Lin Su could say anything, the earth spirit pig started barking alertly. When Lin Su mentioned that he needed the power of the 5 spiritual pearls to repair the barrier in the land of death, the earth spirit pig immediately jumped up and almost knocked down the wooden house. Make a hole and shake your head like a rattle. No, no. Repairing the barrier will consume a lot of original power. I don't want to do this kind of loss-making business. Lin Su and others had expressions of astonishment on their faces. No one expected that the earth spirit pig's reaction would be so great. There is also the trouble of opening the mind. There is no need to ask for opinions like the other 4 spirit beads. Just use it. Prophet Kulia, as you said, we will set out to repair the barrier in 3 days. Lin Su ignored Tu Lingzhu's protest and nodded to the great prophet Kulia, please help us prepare a rest room and good food and wine. The portions must be sufficient. My little brother is a good eater. As Lin Su spoke, he pointed at the Tuliang pig lying angrily in his arms, pretending to be dead. The rooms have been arranged for several distinguished guests. I will ask the guards to take 3 of them there. Great Prophet Kulia looked at Lin Su in surprise, unable to believe that Master Tuliang had become Lin Su's younger brother. But she soon suppressed her surprise and called the guards to take Lin Su and the others to their residence to rest. The residence that Kulia arranged for Lin Su and the others is not far from the altar. It is an independent courtyard with 3 entrances and 3 exits. The environment is very good, but Lin Su has no intention of enjoying the scenery of the courtyard and directly chooses a room. He walked in with the earth spirit pig in his arms and waved his hand to set up a soundproof barrier. Listen, Xiaotu, now is not the time for you to lose your temper. I need your help to repair the barrier. This is not only for the Tianling world, but also for ourselves. Sitting cross-legged on the bed, Lin Su put the earth pig on the soft quilt and said seriously. For ourselves? How do you say this? Tulingzu blinked. Lin Su explained the situation where the barrier power in the land of death was lost, causing the transmission channel to the spirit world to be unstable. Xiao Tu, think about it, I will go to the spirit world sooner or later. If the barrier is not resolved, if the problem cannot go to the spiritual world, then the cultivation level cannot be improved. What does that have to do with me? Tulingzu muttered in a low voice. Although the voice was very low, Lin Su still heard it. Lin Su was so angry and funny that he couldn't help but stretched out his hand and spoke harshly on top of his head. For a moment. Are you really stupid or are you pretending to be stupid? I am your elder brother. If my cultivation level cannot be improved, the spiritual field space will not be able to evolve into a small world. How can you absorb the original power of the other four spiritual beads? Yes. Tu Lingzhu was originally a little dissatisfied with Lin Suda's forehead. Hearing this, he was suddenly surprised, but he was still a little entangled, but repairing the barrier will really consume a lot of original power. Idiot. If you are willing to give up, where will the gain come from if you don't give up? Lin Su rolled his eyes and said, as long as my spirit field space is promoted to the small world, are you afraid that the original power you have consumed will not be replenished? Besides, after repairing the barrier, my father-in-law and the Lord of Yamahal can go to the spirit field as long as they are not around. You can stay in the spirit field space. The spiritual field space is the initial place, containing the most original power of laws, which is of great benefit to the cultivation of the earth spirit pig. If not for Lin Su's insistence, the earth spirit pig would have been relying on the spiritual field space. At this moment, Lin Su is so said, it also means to seduce the earthly pig. Rightward arrow. That's okay. The Tuliang pig struggled for a while, but in the end it couldn't resist Lin Su's temptation, and nodded in agreement. In fact, it also knew that Lin Su's choice was the right one. If the passage to the spiritual world cannot be stabilized, and if one cannot go to the spiritual world, the cultivation level cannot be improved, and the spiritual field space will naturally not be promoted to a small world. Now that the interests of the Tuliang pig and Lin Su are connected, it can be said that both prosper and lose. Only when Lin Su becomes stronger and the spiritual field space is promoted, can the Tuliang pig absorb the origins of the other four spirit beads. Strength, improved potential, not to mention Lin Su promised that it can absorb the power of the original law in the spiritual field space. That's right. Lin Su laughed. Just then the guards brought the wine and food. Lin Su pushed these wine and food towards the Tuliang pig. Here, these are all yours. The earth spirit pig, like the tyrant bear king, is a foodie. When he saw so many delicious foods, his last bit of dissatisfaction was immediately thrown away. His two front hooves turned into human hands and grabbed the food on the table. He started chewing and stuffed a pig's mouth until it was full. Wow! It's delicious. I want one more. No, two. The Tuliang pig was eating crazily and muttering at the same time. It was really hard for him to speak clearly even though his mouth was full of food. He was indeed a foodie, what a talent. Lin Su would naturally not refuse such a request. It was the snake tribe who paid the bill anyway, so there was no harm in doing more of this kind of generosity to others. Instructing the attendants at the door to bring several more banquets, Lin Su looked at Tu Lingzhu with a smile and said, Xiao Tu, how about we sign a contract? An equal contract, so you don't have to worry about me not keeping my word. In fact, Lin Su was not worried about the earth spirit pig. This little guy was too strong. If he really wanted to run away, he would not be able to stop it. It was impossible to hold it in his arms all the time and suppress its original power. Strength, right? Equality contract. The Tuliang pig instinctively felt that something was wrong, but he couldn't tell what was wrong, and his eyes wandered around in hesitation. Although it is a contract, the equal contract has no impact on both of us. It can also promote each other. How great! And after signing the equal contract, I can take you, Xiao Tu, into the spirit field space at any time, without having to worry about it. The entrance is open. Lin Su tried his best to confuse him. In fact, this was another reason why he wanted to sign an equal contract with the Earth Spirit Pig. Because the Earth Spirit Pig had spiritual intelligence and life, Lin Su needed to open the entrance every time he entered the spiritual field space. Okay, it is troublesome and consumes the power of the soul. If he signs an equal contract with the Earth Spirit Pig, then he can immediately let the Earth Spirit Pig enter the spirit field space with a thought, which is much more convenient and labor-saving. Tu Lingzhu was still a little hesitant, but he couldn't resist Lin Su's sincere and good temptation. Lin Su didn't intend to give it time to think slowly, and soon told the Earth Spirit Pig that it was fainting. It seemed that not signing an equal contract was a sign of stupidity, and his head was caught in the door thousands of times. Until after signing the contract in a daze, Tu Lingzi slowly came to his senses. Damn it! I was fooled by Lin Su. Doesn't this mean that he has completely sold it to Lin Su? Although it is just an equal contract, there is no distinction between master and slave, but they will still be affected by each other. The Earth Spirit Pig is a divine beast made from the power of heaven and earth spirit. It is an innate body and is more powerful than Lin Su at this stage. If it becomes Lin Su's contracted beast, its understanding of the Earth Spirit source power will also be shared by Lin Su. In the future, Lin Su will also benefit from absorbing the original power of the four spiritual beads of gold, wood, water, and fire. Lin Su got a big advantage. Moreover, there is an equality contract. No matter where the Earth Spirit Pig goes, Lin Su can sense it. Unless Lin Su agrees, there is no possibility of cancelling the contract. In other words, Tu Lingzi is destined to be involved with Lin Su for the rest of his life. After thinking about this, Tu Lingzi lost his appetite and looked at Lin Su with eyes full of resentment, as pitiful as a little daughter-in-law who was raped and unable to resist. Just the opposite of the Earth Spirit Pig, Lin Su was overjoyed. The moment the contract was formed, he felt that the original power of the earth element in the spiritual field space in his body had become stronger several times, and the power of the earth element law was perfected in an instant. Taking a big step, the whole person seems to have become the master of the earth spirit power between heaven and earth. He can even clearly feel the strands of earth spirit power in the surrounding heaven and earth aura. Make a fortune now? Anyway, in the room, a formation barrier was set up to isolate the spiritual consciousness. With a thought, Lin Su took the resentful Earth Spirit Pig into the spiritual field space, and also collected the table full of delicious food. He went in, then went to the bed, and controlled the soul to enter the spirit field space. Of course, Lin Su did not forget to set up a reminder formation next to him, so that if someone broke into the room, he could be reminded to come out of the spiritual field space in time, but to outsiders, he was just sleeping. That's all. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 200. Huh? It smells so good. As soon as several tables of banquets entered the spirit field space, the nose of the tyrant bear king, who had been sleeping soundly in the nest he made, suddenly twitched. Then his eyes opened wide, and his figure suddenly disappeared, flashing next to the banquet. The huge bear's face was full of greed, and he was drooling. He opened his big hand, and the two banquet tables disappeared. It was obvious that the tyrant bear king had taken him into his own space. As the demon king of the fairy world, it is not surprising that the tyrant bear king has his own independent storage space, but what Lin Su and others did not expect was that this guy actually used teleportation to grab food. It's amazing that a foodie can do this. This is mine. Seeing that the food was being robbed, the Earth Spirit Pig couldn't help but let out a scream, and quickly rushed to the banquet and glared at the Bear King. At the same time, he put away the other two banquet tables. Lin Su put the 5 banquet tables in the linked yen space in the blink of an eye. There was only one table left. One bear and one pig immediately set their sights on the last banquet table and refused to give in. Although the Earth Spirit Pig is a divine beast formed from the power of the Earth Spirit, its cultivation level is far inferior to that of the tyrant Bear King, so it doesn't dare to grab it forcefully and can only stare at the opponent with an indignant look. By the way, after signing the equality contract, Lin Su finally saw clearly the cultivation level of the Tuliang pig, nascent soul stage, but he couldn't tell whether it was the early, middle, or late stage. It seemed that the strength division system of human monks it doesn't apply to it. But no matter what, there is no doubt about the strength of this little guy. He can easily kill monks in the middle stage of Yuanying when he gets angry. Lin Su thinks that even if he breaks through to the late stage of Yuanying, he will probably be at this level at most. The Tyrant Bear King did not take advantage of his advanced cultivation. After all, although the Earth Spirit Pig has a lower cultivation level, it is now Lin Su's contracted beast and will be obtained as Lin Su's cultivation progresses. Improve and one day be able to reach the level of the Tyrant Bear King. Such a mythical beast, the Tyrant Bear King, doesn't want to fall out with it over a banquet, but it would be embarrassing to give up like this. After all, he is also the Demon King of the fairy world. Fortunately, even if Lin Su appeared and stopped the two of them, no, it was two beasts. Hey, you two, enough is enough. You have already occupied two banquet tables, and you want to take over the last table and chairs. You are too greedy. Lin Su waved his hand, and a piece of land next to the spiritual field raised up to form a stone table, and he placed the last banquet table on it. This banquet table is mine, you don't have to fight. When Lin Su came forward, the Tyrant Bear King and the Earthly Pig both found their way to the foot of the steps. After glaring at each other, the Tyrant Bear King lay back in his bear den, pouring the wine and delicacies from his own den. He took it out from the storage space and enjoyed it slowly. The Earth Spirit Pig jumped directly into Lin Su's arms without saying a word. He just looked at Lin Su with a pair of watery eyes, looking pitiful. Okay, you greedy little guy, stop pretending to be pitiful. Let's eat together. Lin Su looked at the Tuliang Pig in a funny way. This little guy is like a murderer when he gets mad. He is very powerful when he pretends to be pitiful and cute. Unexpectedly, Yepinger and the girls already have little stars in their eyes. What? Thank you, brother. As soon as he heard that he could join in the feasting, the Earthly Pig immediately became happy, let out a cheer and ran up to the table, grabbed a roast leg of lamb and stuffed it into his mouth, waving his little hooves while eating. He greeted, "Come on, let's eat together, you're welcome." It looked like it was inviting everyone to eat this table of fine wine and delicacies, which made Lin Su angry and amused. It's been a long time since Yepinger and the other girls have gotten along so well with Lin Su. The whole meal was a lingering one. If it wasn't for the wrong timing and there were so many light bulbs around them, Lin Su would probably have eaten it all. He couldn't help but transformed into a wolf and ate the two girls' Yepinger. 3 days passed quickly, and Lin Su left the spiritual field space with some reluctance and walked out of the room. Ho! As soon as Lin Su walked out of the room, a dark figure rushed over from the door. Lin Su was frightened. He almost flew up and kicked him, but he held it back because he saw clearly that it was Long who was rushing towards him. Tiger Beast, at this moment, this big cat was caressing the corner of his clothes affectionately, with a fawning expression. Although the dragon Tiger Beast has the blood of a divine beast, it is not a divine beast after all, especially since its cultivation level is only in the middle stage of nascent soul. In front of the Earth Spirit Pig, it is like a mouse that has met a cat, because the Earth Spirit Pig has always stayed in Lin Su's arms, and the Dragon Tiger Beast he didn't dare to follow him at all, so he could only guard at the door. Now that he saw Lin Su coming out and the Earth Spirit Pig was not with Lin Su, he was naturally overjoyed and rushed over to express his loyalty. Snort. The Earth Spirit Pig was forced out of the spirit field space by Lin Su. He was unwilling to do so, so he took a step behind Lin Su and slowly flew out of the room. When he saw him, he was having fun and trying to please Lin Su. The dragon and tiger beast suddenly let out a cold snort, and the divine beast pressed towards the dragon and tiger beast with pressure. The dragon and tiger beast's whole body was filled with excitement, like a deflated rubber ball. It wanted to get close to Lin Su but was afraid that the Earth Spirit Pig would be angry. It wanted to go away but was afraid that Lin Su would be angry. The dragon's face was so bitter that he was about to cry. "Okay, little two, don't bully the big cat." Lin Su glared at the Tuliang Pig. The Tuliang Pig then snorted twice and put away the pressure of the divine beast. The dragon and tiger beast also breathed a sigh of relief and quietly followed Lin Su with sweat on his face. Looking like a frustrated little daughter-in-law. "Come on, big cat, carry me to the altar, it's faster this way." Lin Su smiled and waved at the dragon tiger beast, which was overjoyed, then hesitated and looked at the earth spirit pig carefully. Seeing that the other party did not object, it let out a joyful roar, and after Lin Su rode on its back, it ran towards the altar with a brisk pace. When Lin Su rode the dragon tiger beast to the altar, Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi had been waiting by the altar. They must have come early in the morning, and it seemed that they were eager to repair the barrier as soon as possible so as to enter the spirit world through the spirit world channel. The great prophet Kolia was also standing on the highest level of the altar with a staff. Seeing Lin Su coming with the earth spirit pig, he smiled and nodded at Lin Su, chanted a spell, and waved the staff in his hand, and a blue treasure light began to emanate from the center of the altar. The blue light became stronger and stronger, and even Lin Su and his friends could not bear it anymore. They could not help but close their eyes. When the light disappeared, a huge round hole appeared in the middle of the altar. Inside it were spiral stairs. This was the heavenly pillar stairs mentioned by the great prophet Kulia. Is this the heavenly pillar? Lin Su and his friends walked to the altar and looked into the round hole. They saw spiral stairs extending downwards. There was no end in sight, and no one knew how many steps there were. It would be fine if they went down from the top later. If they climbed up from the bottom, it would be a true way to ascend to heaven. Lord Earth Spirit, 3 distinguished guests, the heavenly pillar passage has been opened, it's time to go down. The great prophet Kulia coughed lightly and walked down the heavenly pillar stairs first. Yewuji and King Yan Luo showed excitement on their faces and quickly followed. Lin Su also patted the dragon tiger beast's neck. The big cat understood and followed. Although it was walking down the spiral staircase, Lin Su did not feel any bumps or tilts on the dragon tiger beast's back. It's actually quite good to have such a mount for travel, Lin Su thought to himself. In fact, this is because the dragon tiger beast deliberately raised a muscle on its back to keep its back balanced, so that Lin Su did not feel the tilt, in order to make Lin Su feel comfortable and ride on its back for a while, so that its divine beast bloodline would be more revived. But seeing this scene, Yewuji felt a little uncomfortable. The dragon tiger beast used to be his pet, but when did he let him ride it? Not to mention this kind of deliberate flattery, fearing that Lin Su would feel uncomfortable or dissatisfied. Comparison is really annoying. Step by step, Lin Su and his companions kept walking down the spiral staircase. At first, they felt novel, but gradually they felt boring. At this speed, how long would it take to walk from the cloud to the bottom? But Lin Su couldn't urge the great prophet Kolia. The cultivation method of the snake woman was different from that of other snake men. Although her aura was comparable to that of the late nascent soul, her body was extremely fragile. At least in Lin Su's opinion, it was not as fast as that of a human cultivator in the foundation building period. With such a strong body, how fast can you expect her to be? A slight snoring sounded, and the earth spirit pig that Lin Su was holding in front of him had actually fallen asleep. This little guy is quite broad-minded. Isn't he afraid of encountering any danger on the Tianzi staircase? No, then again, the earth spirit pig might not be afraid of danger, because this is the pillar of heaven that connects the land of death and the heavenly spirit continent. The earth spirit pig is the incarnation of the earth spirit pearl among the 5 spirit pearls of heaven and earth. Since it knows that repairing the barrier will consume a lot of original power, it must have a certain understanding of this pillar of heaven, so it can sleep so confidently and boldly. Lin Su couldn't stand walking down so monotonously, especially since he was riding on the back of the dragon tiger beast, and he didn't have to work hard at all. Being attracted by the slight snoring of the earth spirit pig, Lin Su also felt sleepy for some reason. In theory, as a cultivator, the need for sleep is very small. After all, sleep is just a way to restore strength. For cultivators, running the exercises for a few weeks is usually enough to offset fatigue and restore strength. But Lin Su didn't know what was going on. He was so sleepy all of a sudden that he didn't know when he fell asleep on the back of the dragon tiger beast. As Lin Su fell asleep, traces of the laws of heaven and earth actually penetrated the celestial pillar and entered the spiral staircase, quickly pouring into Lin Su's body, causing Lin Su's comprehension of the laws of heaven to advance by leaps and bounds, finally breaking through a spiritual realm value, and Lin Su woke up in shock.